Yo, what's good YouTube? It's your boy Vade, aka Pro Bench Woman. I'm bringing you this video like I always bring you this video whenever this happens. You know where I'm going with this. I hit King of Games, dude. There it goes, right there, King of Games. And of course I always have my throwaway King of Game match, but I hit King of Games on the 11th. It was a pretty fun climb. You guys saw I had like 200 and something wins. It's garbage, but I'm actually pretty proud of that. Wait, how many wins is that? Let me see how much it is. 234 wins, right? I'm actually pretty proud of this, simply because I built this deck from scratch starting on September 30th and actually hit King of Games on the 11th, purely using a deck that I built and I kept tweaking and I kept adjusting, and I was proud to see other people use it as I climb. What I'm talking about is this deck right here, 3-star Demotion Horus. Now, the main reason I started running this deck is because just like how in Pokemon we got infested with the Magirna teams on the Showdown ladder, we got infested with Cyber Rangers on PvP, and they've been kind of crazy. So I wanted a deck that can hard counter them and also handle them, and you know, it's been pretty fun. This deck is really good because Horus the Black Flame Dragon level 8 negates all spell cards. The minute a spell card is activated, this thing is like, nah, we're not having that. Nah, I don't like spells at all. I'm a little afraid. Let's negate that real quick. I don't like those at all. So how this handles Cyber Angels, because that deck usually just runs spells and a whole bunch of monsters that rely on those spells in order to get out. And the deck doesn't run anything over 1400 that can't come out, that can come out without a spell. Like, it runs Senju, it runs Sonic Bird, and then it runs Cyber Petite Angel. Those are its normal summon monsters. Everything else is special summon through Machine Angel rituals. And maybe they'll run a Mirror Wall. Maybe I see Mirror Wall. I seen Curse Seal as its trap cards. I also seen Floodgate a couple times, but mostly it's just a bunch of enemy controllers. So the minute you can get level 8 out, you're pretty much solid. Like, you pretty much just sit on this until they forfeit. But as with level up cards, they are kinda slow, which is why I started running 3-star Demotion, because you can get Horus the Black Flame Dragon level 6 out, kill something, and then get level 8 out really fast. And this card is unaffected by spell effects, so if your opponent tries to econ take this or put it in defense position with enemy controller, not happening. I've seen people pop Super Rush Headlong on their monster and declared fire, and I still destroyed it. Like, it's not affected by spell effects. This is what Silent Magician was, except Silent Magician was a bigger body with worse defense. This card can go up to just negating spells in total, which is great. And 3-star Demotion is purely just for this card, because this card cannot be normal summoned. It has to be summoned through this thing destroying something, or this thing and this card right here level up. So actually it's funny that this level up animation, I mean this artwork on the level up card is Horus, so kind of destined to be in a Horus deck. But I definitely still run Horus the Black Flame Dragon level 4 just for consistency's sake. You do want a Horus in your opening hand in order to be able to make plays. So with this, even though it's pretty weak with 1600 attack, pair this up with like a Mirror Wall or Floodgates, and you can start killing things in defense position. Sorry about that, let me give you guys a preview of that. You can start killing things in defense position or have people ram into this card and they can level up to level 6 without even having to use 3-star Demotion. I originally had Mirage Dragons over Sergeant Electro, simply because, you know, dragons, I'll keep the theme together with dragons and keep it going, but that doesn't help me at all. Like, it negates, I mean, your opponent isn't allowed to summon, isn't allowed to use traps in the battle step, but that doesn't mean that they can't use it any other time, which is what Sergeant Electro does. It pins it down and it can't be used, so that's better. But if you're playing against Red Eye, let's say you already have a Sergeant Electro on the field and they set Spirit, and then on their battle phase they can't activate their Spirit, but the next turn they can pop their Spirits beforehand or pop their Mirror Wall beforehand, and so on and so forth. So with Sergeant Electro, you can actually force them to go into their traps if they have to use their traps. You know, force that Mirror Wall to get used, force that Spirit to get used, force that other traps that are popular like Floodgate. Well, Floodgate might just get pinned completely and stuff like that. Like, that's why Electro is better, and also can pin down enemy controllers, which is great because even though if you get 8 out it's kind of negated, but they use their enemy controller to send Sergeant Electro into defense position, and then I summon a monster that you should have saved your enemy controller for. So I think that that's really good. Sergeant Electro is way better than Mirage Dragon in this case. And then I have 2 Spear Karibos just to stall in case I can't 3-star demote, and I put something in defense position, which is easier to kill. And it's just an overall good card in this deck. I have 1 Supremacy Berry to get some life back. I used to run 2 and no enemy controllers, but enemy controllers started to be like a card that I needed to have at least 1 of. So I took out a Supremacy Berry. It's pretty good. You don't necessarily rely on a 3-star demotion in this deck, so I don't think you need more than 1 Supremacy Berry. And then I have 1 enemy controller just because I needed it. It's still such a good card in the meta, so it's just overall good. I've won games or stalling between Horus and a Dakini, and then I just summoned a Horus level 4 and just econ take their Dakini and then just swung for game. So other cards here that I haven't talked about, I think I talked about Floodgate Trap Hall. I mean everybody knows what Mirror Wall does. It's really good. Level Up is so clutch because actually in my rank up, my King of Game promo match was against Taya. You guys saw that. It was a dual standby, and I'm like, oh god, I'm not about to go against Mill. And I actually wasn't going against Mill. Someone was trying to run Taya Burn, and in my opening hand, what did I have? Horus level 4, 2 level ups, a Spear Karibo, and a Sergeant Electro. I think that was my opening hand. And I just like summoned Horus, leveled it up to level 6, and then set the other level up just in case it was Mill, because I was going first and I don't want to deplete my deck like that. Making it easier for a Mill deck to just go off, even though you know, I was okay. And then I think I set Floodgate or something like that. I forgot what it was. Then my opponent just starts going off with the Hinotamas and the Raimes and all this other stuff, and I'm like, you know what? Next turn I got you. So I level up to Horus the Black Flame Driver level 8, and then just sit on it. My opponent summoned a Gravekeeper's Curse, and then used Cards of Sanctity, and I just negated it, and he had no cards in hand, and then that was done. And that was my rank up. It was so much fun. But you know what? Let's get into some replays after this. So you guys, I encourage you guys to at least try this on the ladder right now. It's really good. It has a really good matchup against Cyber Angels. It has a really good, I'd say it's like 80-20 if you open with a good hand. Against Weevil, you just want to play it slow, have 1 monster out on the field, wait for them to bring out the Parasite, and then start going off after they get Lava Golem on your side of the field. If you can Floodgate Lava Golem, do that. Make them, Sergeant Electro usually makes them waste out their Massive Morphs if you pin them, and then you could summon another monster after that. If you have Sergeant Electro out, pin down their back row and just keep it banging. Eventually you'll burn them out of traps and spells, and then you can start going off, because Massive Morph is such a pain to deal with. Other deck matchups. Red Eyes, you want to get level 8 out as soon as possible, and if it's beat down, you want to keep it to 1 faced up Red Eyes on the field. So if you can Floodgate a Red Eyes, I highly advise that you should. If you think that there's a Vigilance set, you may want to go Floodgate and then have a Mirror Wall set, so that if they slam into you, they still lose a Red Eyes. It's also a good play. I'm trying to think of what other decks were popular as I was climbing. Mako I had no problem with. Mill is a pain, simply because you want to use you don't want to use the level up in that case. You want Horus level 4 and then probably like sacrifice it for Horus level 6, or use the go into Horus level 6 if you have it in hand, and so on and so forth. And a lot of people have been saying that once you lose Horus level 8 on the field, you kind of just like lose the game. But like, I have had games where Horus level 8 got Floodgated and I still won. Like, it all depends on the back row, which I have really strong back row. I have enemy controller. I can pretty much win the game. But I did want to run level modulation to get level 8 back from the grave. But I felt like it's a clunky card that if you have it in your first hand, it's a dead card, just like having level 8 in your hand. Your first hand is a dead card. So I didn't want the deck to brick itself and lose simply because of poor construction of the deck. So from here, I'm gonna go into some replays. You guys have a great day, catch the footage, and I'll see you guys later.
over.
Black Triforce.